gentlemen, welcome and happy Friday night. Let's go! This is the David Kolar Piano Show. Tonight, I will be showcasing a 10-minute solo piano piece that I wrote during COVID. But first, this. Thank you. Once again, welcome to the David Kolar Piano Show. I'm so happy you could join me tonight. Tonight I will be showcasing a 10-minute original solo instrumental piano piece that I wrote during COVID. And so I'll just get right, actually before I get into that, that first piece you heard was the song St. James, a song that I wrote 2013, I think, around there. And I will be featuring it at an outdoor house show that I'm throwing at my house at the end of September 30th. I'll have a little bit more information about that at the end of the show. And yeah, so I'll showcase a couple pieces tonight. Actually, all the pieces I'm playing tonight will be featured at that show. Yeah, I'm excited to share some of that with you. So backing up a little ways, back in 2016, I started writing and, sorry. So tonight I'm going to be showcasing a second movement of a planned three movement instrumental solo piano piece. And before I get into that movement, I'll talk about movement three, which I wrote back in 2016. So back in 2016, I started writing and finished writing a solo instrumental piano piece that sort of fused classical and jazz idioms together. And I debuted it at a house show that I had back then in 2017, I believe, is when I debuted that one. And then I thought that would be a really fun, like, third movement of a three movement work. I don't know if you want to call it like a piano sonata or something like that, but I'm just referring to it as a three movement piano work. So eventually I started writing what is now the second movement. It's in a minor key, a little bit more brooding, a little bit slower. And started really diving into that during COVID. I was working from home. My employer was going through a transition. They were merging with a different bank. And so there was a lot of transition with my work. And so it was like kind of finishing one job and not really starting the next job quite yet. And so I had a lot of time to just kind of mess around on my piano and ended up writing this second movement. So like I said, like the third movement, it combines, sort of fuses the classical and the jazz together. Um, so you can hear influences from both those genres. And this one, I often write these pieces sort of in a random order. Like I'll have something that turns out to be kind of the middle of the piece. I'll write the end usually first. I think this one I had the end pretty early on, which is kind of a nice way to write a piece, because if you know where the end is, then you just have to decide how you want to get there. And there was a couple of disparate ideas that I had that I knew I wanted to incorporate into this piece, and it was just figuring out how to blend those all together and make them work together. So one of the early ones that I had was a figure I'll play, or a section I'll play right now, and I messed around with this a lot. And was really happy when I was able to work it into the piece. So that sounds like this. Play it one more time. So I just had really that lick for a long time and didn't have it wasn't going anywhere. Nothing was, written up to it. So it was just something that I had, and I had to figure out how to get to that point of the song, because I knew it needed to be somewhere in the middle. And then where to go from that section. The main thing that I came up with was the main motif, maybe is the right word. It's the main figure in the right hand of the piano. And that I'll play that because that goes throughout the whole piece, and I'll play a few other sections within the piece where you'll be able to hear that. And I think that'll just help for your ear to latch on to something and be able to kind of listen for that motif throughout the song. So I'll just play the right hand, and then I'll play it with how it starts the song with the left hand as well. So that motif with just the right hand goes like this. Let me try that one more time. I messed that up. One more time. And there's sometimes where I'll do those last three notes in octaves, something like this. So then it's used early on in the piece, like I said, and I'll play what the left hand's playing at that point. One more time. So as an example of where that motif comes back in, toward in the middle section of the song, I go into a different theme, which sounds like this. And so I'm playing around with that theme, but partway through that, I incorporate that motif. Again, the motif sounds like this. And now in this middle section, it's transposed down to a different set of notes. Instead of starting on a G, it actually starts on an E flat. And so in the middle section, this is what that sounds like. One more time. So again, where it first was in the middle section, it's kind of hard to play it when I'm not playing it in the context of the song, but just give you an idea. And then later on in the song, it comes back in a figure that goes like this. So in that case, I'm actually cutting off the last three notes. I'm not playing those last three notes. I'm just playing the and then slowly moving it down by, I think it's whole steps. So just another variation on that motif. I think the last thing I want to play for you is there's a couple sections that again are a similar pattern, but actually transposed the second time it's played versus the first time it's played. And I actually do some crossing over of my right hand over my left hand, which is kind of fun. So the first time, this is what that sounds like. Yeah. So again, it's just a pretty basic kind of arpeggiated pattern. And then later on in the song, I transpose it to a different key. And I need to make sure I remember how that one goes. I believe it's like this. That original motif again. So with all that being said, I'll play the motif one more time so you can have that in your ear. So a variation of that will start the piece on a little it's not improv, but it sounds like it could be improv, and then that'll be the main theme when the main theme comes in. So just listen out for all those different sections within the song, and I hope you enjoy this. It's not really titled at this point other than being called Movement II. So I hope you enjoy this song. Thank you. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. If you have any other questions or comments about that piece, feel free to put them in the chat. Always good to hear from people, whether that's a question or just a comment. With that being said, I'm going to move on next to the debut of a new song. So last week I finished writing a new song called Irresistible Feeling. It's a song that's been in the works since, I think, 2012 is when I first got the original idea of the song. And I've had it for years, and finally I had most of the lyrics written by 2021, but didn't have a bridge. Finally finished the bridge this year. So this has definitely been a song that's had a journey. But I'm really excited to debut it tonight. I'm really excited about this one. Very different from the last piece I just played, so yeah. So this song is written in a C major. It's in 4/4 time. And the original working title, so before I had any lyrics, I didn't know what to call the piece. But as I was writing it, it sounded like, to me, like it could be maybe like a Five for Fighting song. Five for Fighting was a band back in the mid-2000s. Had a few different hits on the radio, piano-based band. And so I had found out that the band name Five for Fighting came from hockey, actually. So if you get a penalty for fighting, you have to spend 5 minutes in the penalty box, and so hence the term Five for Fighting. So I was like, you know what, I want the working title, I want something sort of a similar, something hockey related to as sort of an homage to Five for Fighting. And I really like the alliteration of Five for Fighting. And so I decided to go with the title Two for Tripping, because I believe a tripping penalty in hockey is you have to spend 2 minutes in the penalty box. And eventually I played the song for my dad and told him that the working title was Two for Tripping. And I played it for him, and he's like, oh, I was thinking that was going to have more of kind of a 70s like vibe, Two for Tripping. And I was like, oh, I didn't even think about the title in that kind of a context. But I'm glad that I no longer have to use that title, and now it's called Irresistible Feeling. So before I play it, I just want to read the lyrics so you kind of can hear those before I actually play it, and get a feel for the song that way. So here are the lyrics. Verse 1, Irresistible feeling. I can feel my heart beating. Time slows whenever you're near me, but I hardly notice. I can see that look you're giving. What a wonderful beginning. I'll go wherever you lead me, if you'll let me follow. Then we have a pre-chorus. Then we'll go to your apartment, talk for hours on the carpet, get lost in stories that we started. And then the chorus. Like you said, I'm not really the one you would think or even dream of going out with for fun. Ain't it crazy how two kids like us could fall into love while almost looking past each other? And after all, if it's meant to be, it's not unusual to turn 180 degrees and admit to all your friends enthusiastically, I finally found my heart's desire. Verse 2, Irresistible feeling. Got a ring and I'm kneeling. Your yes means everything to me, a lifetime before us. I can feel your arms embracing, calming all the fears I'm facing. I know you'll always be near me, a light in the darkness. And in the pre-chorus, one last night in your apartment, talk for hours on the carpet, get lost in stories that we started. Back to the chorus. Like you said, I'm not really the one you would think or even dream of going out with for fun. Ain't it crazy how two kids like us could fall into love while almost looking past each other? And after all, if it's meant to be, it's not unusual to turn 180 degrees and admit to all your friends enthusiastically, I finally found my heart's desire. And next is the bridge. All the time in the memories often feel like they'll nearly all come undone, 'cause in 100,000 simulations of our lives it won't work out, but it does in this one. Irresistible feeling. I can feel my heart beating. Time slows whenever you're near me, but I hardly notice. The pre-chorus again. Our first night in our apartment. Talk for hours on the carpet. Get lost in stories that we started. And the final chorus. Like you said, I'm not really the one you would think or even dream of going out with for fun. Ain't it crazy how two kids like us could fall into love while almost looking past each other? And after all, if it's meant to be, it's not unusual to turn 180 degrees and admit to all your friends enthusiastically, I finally found my heart's desire, my one and only desire. And here's the song. Irresistible. Take that one more time with some reverb on. Irresistible feeling, I can feel my heart beating. Time slows whenever you're near me, but I hardly notice. I can see the look you're giving. What a wonderful beginning. I'll go wherever you lead me if you let me follow. Then we'll go to your apartment, talk for hours on the carpet, get lost in stories that we started. Like you said, I'm not really the one you would think or even dream of going out with for fun. Ain't it crazy how two kids like us could fall into love while almost looking past each other? And after all, if it's meant to be, it's not unusual to turn 180 degrees and admit to all your friends enthusiastically, I finally found my heart's desire. Irresistible feeling, got a ring and I'm kneeling. Your yes means everything to me, a lifetime before us. I can feel your arms embracing, calming all the fears I'm facing. I know you'll always be near me, a light in the darkness. One last night in your apartment, talk for hours on the carpet, get lost in stories that we started. Like you said, I'm not really the one you would think or even dream of going out with for fun. Ain't it crazy how two kids like us can fall into love while almost looking past each other? And after all, if it's meant to be, it's not unusual to turn 180 degrees and admit to all your friends enthusiastically, I finally found my heart's desire. Time and the memories often feel like they'll nearly all come undone, 'cause in 100,000 simulations of our lives it won't work out, but it does in this one. Irresistible feeling, I can feel my heart beating. Time slows whenever you're near me, but I hardly notice. Our first night in our apartment, talk for hours on the carpet, get lost in stories that we started. You think or even dream of going out with for fun. Ain't it crazy how two kids like us could fall into love while almost looking past each other? And after all, if it's meant to be, it's not unusual to turn 180 degrees and admit to all your friends enthusiastically, I finally found my heart's desire. My one and only desire. Thank you. All right. Before I wrap up tonight's show, I've got a few plugs. The first one, like I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, is that I will be putting on an outdoor house show on September 30th. That's a Saturday night. And I will send out more information about the exact location and stuff as we get closer. It's in Minnesota, near Jordan, Minnesota. And I think it's probably going to be like a 6:30 to 8:30. 6:30 to 9:30. Hoping to have an opener, and then I'll play 2 sets of music. One set will be solo piano music of mine, and then the other set will be piano rock. The next live stream is going to be Thursday, September 21st. And that is going to be at 6:30 p.m. And I will be doing a preview of the house show, so playing a lot of the songs that I'll be playing at that house show. So I hope you can join for that live stream. Especially if you're not able to make it to the actual outdoor house show, that'll give you sort of a light version of the house show. I won't be playing everything I'll be playing, but I'll give you a taste of both sets and what you can expect from that show. And for those of you who do end up coming, that'll be a good teaser for you. So if you haven't liked my Facebook page yet, please go ahead and give it a like and a follow. It's David Kolar Music on Facebook. Then you can get notified of these live streams and any other videos I post or posts I have up there. Whoops. And then I also have a YouTube channel. It's David Kolar Music on YouTube as well. And I repost all of these Facebook live streams up on YouTube as well. And they're done from a local recording to my phone, and so they're the highest quality that I have. So if you want to head over to YouTube and subscribe to my channel, that would be great. I hit 10 subscribers after last week's live stream. So if we can get to 20, double that would be amazing. But yeah, go ahead and go there. You can check out all my previous live streams if you maybe haven't seen one before. And I've got a little bit of other music up there as well, so I would definitely appreciate the subscribe on there. And I will pull up the link on screen to the YouTube channel. All right. With that being said, the last song I'm going to play is a song called Home Base. I do a loop on my keyboard here, and that plays through the whole thing, and then I play the piano part and vocals over it. So it's a drum and bass groove that the song is written around. And so I hope you enjoy. This is Home Base, and thanks again so much for joining me tonight. I hope you have a great rest of your Friday night. we ever think a member of a crew might float away, we'll touch back down, go through the clouds to our home base. Stars fade into the distance. Light years, centuries pass. Is there anyone out there who knows? I wish I could ask. Why don't we take a little journey in outer space right now? Our rocket fuel cocoon will blast us a million miles away. And if we ever think a member of a crew might float away, we'll touch back down, go through the clouds to our home base. And if a member of a crew might float away, we'll touch back down, go through the clouds to our home base. We'll touch back down, go through the clouds to our home base. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I hope you had fun and enjoyed the music. I'll see you next time.